What's up, everybody? It is Matt from Electric All Wheel, and today we have the Kingbull Discover 2. We are not going to be doing dual battery, but rather we are going to be replacing the controller. Now, Kingbull has provided a lineup of performance controllers for a lot of their e-bikes, so we are going to show you how to replace the controller on the Kingbull Discover 2 750 watt rear hub, 48 volt, 15 amp hour down tube battery, fat tire electric bike front suspension, color display, big fat headlight, uh, horn controls, light button on the left hand side, and 7-speed trigger shift on the right with a half grip twist throttle. It's a hardtail with an integrated battery and the same coloration, and we are going to show you or demonstrate to you how to install the controller. We're going to try to keep the cranks on there because I know that'll be the easiest for all of you viewers at home. So we'll see if we can actually get it installed by pulling the plate but leaving the crank and get the controller in there. And if we have to, we'll show you how to pull the crank as well. But path of least resistance, make it the easiest possible for all of the Kingbull customers out there. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. We will leave links to Kingbull products in the description below, and we appreciate you utilizing those links to help keep this channel going. Without further ado, let's just get to it. All right, we are on the left-hand side of the bike, and we're just going to take out these 6 screws here on the plate. All right, we are in. Looks like we may be able to get it out. Oh no, we're gonna have to take the crank off. All right, so this is gonna be a little more intense than I had hoped. We're gonna have to use the crank puller and go ahead and get this crank off of here so we can pull the plate and get to the wiring behind this plate and get it removed. We're gonna take out this bolt on the crank. Put the crank puller in. We'll make sure this foot is recessed inside the housing. Don't strip the crank. There we go. All right, here's your plate. Goes on like so. Uh, you actually have a gasket in between. This is pretty nice, and then it will fit up and form to the plate and then fit perfectly onto the frame. This is pretty, I like this aspect of it for sure. From here, we're going to need to get all of the connections for the motor cable loose. Take those off. Pull that. Now we will undo the rear lights. And that looks like main cable harness. This is PAS, or that's power. That's main cable harness. What is this? This is PAS. Yes, okay. Main cable harness, and here's PAS sensor. Okay, now we're going to take our controller from Kingbull. First thing I'm going to do is hook up the motor cable. Now I'm going to be looking for these arrows right here. There's a little arrow right on the face of this thing. So you guys want to use that to help line it up, and look for the arrow on the other end as well. Plug that in. And then I'm going to go ahead and plug in the power. Now I'm going to plug in the main cable harness. I'm going to square this off. There's only one way for that to fit. Now let's get the PAS connection in. I'm looking for arrows as well on this one. And last but not least is your rear light. We're going to tuck them in. There's a slot right here beneath the bottom bracket to use, which is nice. And get those inside the housing. I'm going to take some zip ties. Feed it through this way. There you go. And the last one at the motor connection. Now we're going to go ahead and put this plate back on. So I'm going to make sure and line up my gasket on the plate. Get a couple screws started so it'll hold. This is a very nicely machined housing. I like it. Form-fitting plate cover. You have a little bit of open access here, and then right where the wiring goes through. But this is way better than what a lot of companies provide. You will learn. I'm going to put my crank back on. Make sure that it is opposite your other side. So the other side is down. I'm going to make this side up. All right. So now let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing to turn on. And it does come on. It looks like it's holding the previous information from the previous set. Let's just go ahead and put this thing past 5. Throttle release to 28, so that is quite nice. And then what else? Horns working, lights turned on, yes. Yes. Looks like we have a successful install. Everything seems to be working appropriately. All right, so I'm out on the Pinellas Trail with the Kingbull Discover 2, and I have the phone in GPS mode. I'm gonna go ahead and hit record on that, and I'm sure everything is set up. We've installed the controller that you can buy as an extra that allows the throttle to go to 28 miles an hour. So let's get to that. And here we go. So throttle is tethered to your PAS levels. So to go over 20 miles an hour, it looks like you will need to be in PAS 5. And now you can see we're up to 26. GPS is showing 25.9, 26. No, that's probably hard to see. Let's see if we can bump that up. There we go. So it looks like we are syncing pretty well in terms of the output for GPS and the speedometer on the bike. And I'm going uphill. So let's get to a flat straightaway here and see what we can see. There we are at 28, 27, 27.2. I did see 27.8. We're headed back up a slight hill right now. So this looks to be accurate. 26, 25.7, 25.9, 25.2. I'm not disappointed with this at all. And I know that I am getting that speed beyond 20 miles an hour with the throttle. And that is a nice compliment to the abilities of the bike. You do have to pay for the extra controller, but it is there by Kingbull for the offering that allows you to get beyond that 20 miles an hour, especially for some of you that get out in traffic and have to move amongst cars with your bike. This can do it. I believe at the time of this video, it was 50 or 60 bucks for the extra controller. We have range tested this battery and we are pleased with its performance at an average 20 mile an hour ride. It does show to be true to form utilizing the Mica toll constant. We did calculate a range that was met by the expectations and capabilities of the bike, so we're pleased with that. And with the ability to get a controller that allows you to throttle past 20 miles an hour, it brings a nice extra complement for the bike and then makes it a true competitor for its market class, which would include other major name brand 26x4 hardtails. Well, there you have it. We have successfully installed Kingbull's accessory aftermarket controller for the Kingbull Discover 2, and it has achieved a 27.73 mile per hour rating via GPS, 28 miles an hour on the bike, and that is good for us. We like it. Definitely worth the price point for the controller accessory add-on for the Kingbull Discover 2. That will allow you guys that are in traffic to safely get up to speed and get to past an intersection, into another bike lane, etc., without having to hold anyone up and make those drivers angry. So we appreciate that aspect of it. Keep in mind, class 2 is 20 miles an hour on throttle, so make sure to follow your local regulations and guidelines. We will suggest a bike case suspension seat post with Cloud9 seat, and we'll leave links to all these products in the description below, including the bike, which is a quality ride, especially with this ability. Be on the lookout for an aftermarket thumb throttle install on the Kingbull, as well as dual battery for this bad boy. We are going to use up this space here and keep the rear rack open. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event. You got to make the event. Go for a ride with your friends. We'll talk to you next time.